You're tuned in to Talkin' Tigers on KCRV Radio, your home for Caruthersville Tiger sports for over 40 years. Your host, Ryan McDaniel, is ready to chat with Coach, break down all things Tigers football, and even speak with player guests. We'll be back with Talkin' Tigers after a quick word from our awesome broadcast sponsors.
The human body is capable of the extraordinary. As well as the not so extraordinary. No matter your skill, restore your peak performance with the Orthodox, a dream team of orthopedic surgery. Get back in the game with the Orthodox at NEA Baptist.
Baker Implement Company and Case IH are proud to support area high school athletics the same way we've supported our customers in the community for 85 years. Visit any of our 13 locations in Southeast Missouri and Northeast Arkansas to experience the power of red and the service and support that has kept customers coming back since 1938. Case IH and Baker Implement Company, supporting our community on the football field and in your field.
Welcome into the program, everybody. Thank you all so much for joining us on this edition of Talking Tigers. And with me here is Coach G himself, along with Tigers wide receiver Jermonte Alexander. Guys, how are you doing this evening?
Very good. We're good, man. We just rolled in from practice. Had to bring the light trailer out towards the end because we're trying to beat the heat. But good day. It was a good day.
Well, I know you guys are ready to get at it on Friday and ready to get the season started and get ready to go out and hit somebody other than your own teammates. So how excited you are for this upcoming season, coming off of last year, 7-win season? What are you most excited about in 2024?
Yes. Monte Shy. I think we're returning a lot of guys, which is exciting. We've got guys that are playing, and when you look at the team, the same guys that you're going to see on Friday night are the guys that were playing as freshmen, and they've really grown within the program. And now we're seeing those freshmen, sophomores turning into juniors and seniors, and they put in 3 years of work. And it's kind of where the rubber meets the road. I mean, we built the program back up to what we hope is the standard Caruthersville once the season's over. But it's exciting to see some of these guys. Like when I first coached Jermonte, he was a sophomore. Now he's a senior. And Ridge McGraw, who started as a freshman offensive lineman, is a junior now. And kind of see how these guys have grown over the last couple of years and how they developed as players and men. I'm excited to see how they go. And it's their turn to be the upperclassmen.
Coach, you talk about coaching these guys for the last 3 years. Coming in 3 years ago, what's been something that you've taken a look at with the culture that you've kind of built up here? Well, what's exciting about the culture that you've kind of built up with this program 3 years ago and where it's at now? What are you excited about where it's going forward?
I think what's nice is everything that my first year here, when we were kind of in that, I hate calling it a rebuild, but we were in that re-up stage of Caruthersville football. A lot of the things there were we had to force those expectations to be expectations. Now it's guys are why are you late? Like when the first person that says why are you late is not me, it's a great sign. Or guys, what are we going to do about this kid who missed practice today? And one of the seniors goes, well, we're going to pull him aside and talk to him and see what's up. We got to give him a chance. And that kind of stuff. And they start bringing each other along and supporting each other and cutting up. And you kind of see that mindset change from we're trying to install that family atmosphere, that accountability atmosphere, to now we actually have leaders where I can pull a guy in like Monte and say, hey, you need to talk to this kid, because I don't want to have to pull him in. And he goes, I got you. And then the players kind of set the bar and not the coaches. And I think once you have a player-run team, that makes a huge difference. And we're finally getting to that point. And it's been nice to see him grow into that point the last couple of years.
It really has. Just from an outside view, it really has been great to see that kind of, accountability kind of been brought in with the culture. And I really have loved seeing what you have done over the last couple of years with this program. Just like how important was that coming in to kind of build the sense of community, not only with the players, but with just the people in this city that we live in?
I mean, you look at a ton of coaching jobs throughout the country, and there's 4 or 5 schools in the same town, or you've got 2 different high schools, or the town's 15,000 people. Look, Crowsville's small. It's a small town. It's a tight-knit town. Shoot, I think Monte is related to like 14 different households here. But, like, when it boils down to it, I mean, you're not going to win at a place like Crowsville unless everybody's pulling the rope in the same direction. And you got to get the parents involved. You got to get the community involved. You got to get everybody bought in. And once you have that, then you're able to build the relationships with the family and the kids and build a strong nucleus of a football team. And we've been able to do that. I mean, I have a really good staff of Crowsville guys. I mean, Coach Treese came out of retirement for us. Joey's a Crowsville guy. Grant's a Crowsville guy. Zach's a Crowsville guy. So that really helped. And then you have a locker room filled with guys whose families are actively involved and they're excited for other people's kids. And that's really the important part when you're rebuilding something.
Let's talk about the team a little bit heading into this upcoming season. And I guess this one is for both of you guys. You have Ryan Guest coming in, 3rd year in the program. How excited are you about not only coaching him in 2024, but also getting to catch passes from him and can kind of talk about his development over the summer and leading up to this first game?
All right. You talk about Ryan. I mean, he's a guy, I think he started almost 30 games, 20-something games in the program. You can tell his development as a football player and the leader from my first year here, where we started Talkin Galladay, who was a senior. He ended up getting hurt, and Ryan got thrown right in the fire at halftime of Malden, and we worked with him. We worked with another guy at quarterback, and Ryan ended up being the more consistent option. Then year 2 that I've been here, Ryan won the starting job and really grew into being able to throw the football throughout the year. And then this year where we've used every single second that Mich has allowed us to practice, both in the springtime and in the summer, and then now into the fall. And you can really tell his growth and being able to distribute the ball and be a leader. And I'm pretty sure he has his armband memorized at this point.
Yeah, he does.
See,
we both do.
Like, he doesn't even have to look down. I mean, you can't ask for a better kid like that. He's got it. And I'm excited to see him really open that arm up and really open up that leadership style come 3 days from now.
Jermonte, how excited are you getting to play with a guy that you've been around for the last few years and really kind of grow together and really kind of build that chemistry? And now that you're both seniors, how do you feel like that has kind of grown over the last few years?
It feels good for real because he was my QB since my 7th grade year, and we grew up for a long time for real. I think he didn't play. Yeah, we played flag football together. Yeah, we did, and then that's how we built up to some seniors or whatever. And I guess we got used to it.
Yeah, and you take a look at this offense you have coming back with Jermonte, Ryan, Sammy. You got a lot of linemen coming back, and you guys averaged nearly 36 points last year. How do you guys look at trying to improve from 36 points? Because that's a lot of points to put on the board. How do you try to improve that as an offense? Is it just being more efficient? What are you kind of looking at there?
I think for me, first, my offense coordinator, he's a good football coach. Joey Middleton, I mean, he played here. He was a middle school coach, and he really grew within the program the last couple of years. I mean, it's easy when you look at the offense and you know that you're returning 4 on the offensive line and then 3 wide receivers and your fullback and your quarterback and your running back. And we're very fortunate to be able to bring back 9 out of 11 guys there. And when you look at the growth aspect, yes, we scored 30-something points a game, but there are still those games where we didn't produce the way we should have. New Madrid was one of those games we didn't produce. Valley Catholic was one of those games we didn't produce. Dexter, Park Hills. So you look at those bigger, top or higher end schools, and we were able to compete at a certain level with those guys. And that's where, when you look at growth in the points per game and all that kind of stuff, now I'm looking for a very, very consistent offensive structure where, regardless of who we're playing, we're being efficient with the football and pressing on and all that kind of stuff. And we can continue to grow and hopefully push at 38 points or whatever more. But I want to be consistent every single week in developing a game plan and putting guys in the right place to be successful. And shoot, most of those guys have been in the system for 3 years. So our offense has been fully installed since mid-June. And these jokers are bored, and they'll tell you about it because they've been doing the same dang plays since the middle of June, and they're like, oh, my Lord, the scout team knows the calls. But by God, we're going to press and press and press. When we go out there on Friday night, it's easy.
Speaking of Friday night, you take a look at who you're playing in St. Pius. What's the first thing that stands out to you about them as a program, and what was kind of the first thing you were looking at as you start to prepare for them?
I think we were able to get some game film on them from last year. They're going to be run heavy. They run out in that spread a little bit. It's a down, pull, trap, power, counter, buck type guys. They're 32 personnel teams, so 2 fullbacks, a running back, 2 tight ends. I think to me, and I kind of look at that like almost a double wing type situation for us. But they ran some spread, so they're kind of going to put some strain on us there from going from a 32 personnel look to a 10 personnel look like that. Defensively, they're bringing a lot of pressure. There's a big debate between the kids and me, and I've been watching film on them. They have a cover 3 base, but they'll flex into like a 2 shell almost. I think they bring a lot of pressure. They're a 3-man front, so they're always going to bring 1 pressure, but they'll shoot another guy here and there. A lot of I think they put a big –
they made defense, real.
Yeah. Blitz. So the last 2 weeks, all Coach Treese has been doing to us is blitz. So they're going to be pressure heavy. They're going to be physical. They're going to try to run the rock, and they have a jamboree under the belt. We decided not to do a jamboree this year, so these boys are just going to have to come out. We're just going to have to unhook the leash and just let the boys just go out there and play football.
Yeah, yes, sir. You got to. Jermonte, I'm kind of wanting to talk about, as a skill player in this offense, who do you kind of look at as far as college and pros? Who are you kind of looking at highlights? Who's kind of somebody you look up to and try to maybe not try to model your game after per se, but try to bring in some elements into how you help the team?
Well, you talking about like watching like on YouTube, like film highlights?
Yep.
Yes.
Well, like at school when I get doing my work or like lunch or whatever, I watch like NFL routes or whatever. And college.
Who do you watch the most? Alabama.
Oh, I'll watch Talkin Hill highlights.
Hey, that's not a bad guy to watch highlights of. But you take a look at how you're going to be in this offense. What excites you the most about having guys to kind of play off of, not only in your receiver room but also in your running back room with Sammy? What excites you the most heading into this year with knowing the plays front back heading into this year? What excites you the most about working with those guys this season?
guys.
Sammy,
they're all running back.
That's a good pick. Yeah, Sammy, working with him. What really excites you about Sammy this upcoming season, and just kind of like working as a good tandem with him in this offense? Because you look at you two in the offense. You two are, you really have grown. What kind are you looking at with him?
With him, I like when I score, he score after me. That's like give me more hype or whatever. Or him like go up the middle. And you don't see nobody that's him go right up the middle, wide open, just he by himself.
And also, I kind of want to talk about. We talk about how players improve from off season all the time. Well, what have been some of the ways you kind of improved heading into this season? What are something that you kind of looked at as you headed from last season to this season? Say, hey, I want to improve on this to not only help make myself better, but help make the team better.
Our energy, how we come from last year, we 10 times better from that year coming in this year.
You're right.
Listen, I think coming into game one, you want to bring that energy right from the start, being in a home crowd. I know you guys are really excited about being at home to start off week one and have a packed out crowd. And we've already kind of touched on this, but what are you most excited about with this crowd and seeing how you guys have what you guys have done in the summer? What are you most excited for the home crowd to see on a Friday night?
Us firing up off the rip. I like when everybody on the same page or whatever, and we got the same energy coming out, fire up, high, warm us and all that.
They like all the flashy stuff. Fog machines, dumb music, me screaming at him for walking out late.
Don't look at you.
He spends more time making sure his socks looks good than he does getting out on the field. Gets yelled at every game.
Sometimes.
Oh, yeah. I know you guys are really excited to be back on the field. I know you guys are just chomping at the bit to get back out there and ready to, put everything you've done in the summer, really kind of take it into 2024. I didn't mention this up at the start, but it is an idea that kind of came to me. I know Alabama was mentioned. Let's talk about college picks here, because I know that's something that's been done on the coach's show. So, Jermonte, you mentioned Alabama. Why Alabama for you? What's kind of something that you take a look at with Alabama and say, I want to watch highlights of Alabama?
It's I forgot his name. He number one. Their receiver. I forgot his name. Number one, not their receiver. I like how he's fast. Basically, I'm looking up to him as me. Him and his QB. How me and my QB is in high school. I feel like that's how we'll be when we go to college.
Now, Coach, I gotta ask you: college pros, where are you at on those?
I'm a huge Notre Dame fan. As you just said, ew, so he's sitting the bench week one. I think a lot of my kind of coaching ideology comes from that tradition and that program where you want to keep some tradition, yes, but they're very – what you're going to get out of Notre Dame every year. They're going to run the football. They're going to have high academic kids. They're going to work hard. And I've been a Notre Dame fan since ever. I mean, I still have a Brady Quinn jersey from 2009. It doesn't fit anymore. It's a couple X's too small, but I still have it. And I'm a Titans fan, so the move to Crowsville kind of worked for me, even though, the only football team I care about is Caruthersville once we're playing. But after the season, when I start watching other teams play, I do like watching the Titans, even though they let me down every year.
I can relate. Titans fan here too.
Yeah, they're the most under. They kind of break your heart. Even when they went 13-1, I'm like, come on, you can't even win a playoff game. But
we KC fan over here.
He's a Kansas City fan because he's that guy.
All right, so Kansas City fan, Titans fan, Notre Dame fan. I might sprinkle in some NFL picks, and we might be talking about your Chiefs next week, Jermonte, with the season getting started against the Ravens. So I know you're hyped about that, but college this week, of course, that's getting started this week. We got a few games, including Coach Notre Dame. You're Fighting Irish. They got a big game at College Station this week. How are you feeling about your Irish heading into week 1?
You know, and unlike every other program, Notre Dame plays a real game week 1 instead of Alabama playing like, I don't know, the School of the Nuns. But I think everybody's trying to compare them to Washington of last year. I think that they're in the second or third year with the new head coach, and they were able to run the football really effectively and kind of like our offensive scheme is here. So if they're able to really control that clock against a team that everybody seems to think is more talented they are, and they just are wrong in that case, I'm pretty comfortable waking up on Saturday morning and taking a break from film to see the Notre Dame Fighting Irish win a game.
And listen, College Station, tough place to play, but if you want national title hopes, you gotta go play the big boys on the road in a tough environment. What better place to do?
Top 20 matchup week 1, it's a must win. Like for both teams, like Notre Dame sits at 7, I think. The other guys are at 20. I mean, top 25 game, that's a make or break for your season. You lose that game, you're probably out of the college playoff hunt unless you're blowing everybody else out for the rest of the year. So,
Jermonte, you got to pick. You going with Notre Dame, get on Coach's good side?
So Monte's up for trade.
Okay, that's one of the big games this week. There's a couple others. Clemson and Georgia is another big one as well. Of course, 2 powerhouse programs. Georgia looking to win another title. Who you guys got in that game between those 2 schools? Dogs.
I'm going for Georgia.
Yeah, I mean, they're just that. And again, I'm an O lineman just by trade. Their run game, they're just way more talented up front, I think. I think Clemson, this is going to be a very unpopular opinion, they had their time. They were the focal point of the NCAAs in the early 2020s and late teens. I think Georgia's kind of hitting that stride. They're big. They're like, as a Notre Dame fan, I'd prefer not to play Georgia at all. Like, that's a phenomenal football program.
Yeah, it really is. And I think, with Nick Saban gone, Kirby Smart has a shot to be the top dog there.
Yeah, and I don't care what anybody says. Dabo Swinney's he's a phenomenal football coach. Kirby's he's been neck and neck or right next to Nick Saban his entire career, just absorbing everything. I mean, I saw the video today about the shirts being tucked in. I'm not battling that with these guys. I'm going to repeat myself 800 times to get mad. But they have the same kind of attention to detail, and I'm not saying others don't, but he's got a lot of that quality in him to make him really good.
So last game, we're going to talk about USC, LSU. Of course, LSU losing a lot of exciting talent last year. USC, no Caleb Williams. Who are you guys feeling as far as those 2 programs?
I ain't watch that game.
I can't stand Brian Kelly.
So USC?
Yeah. I mean, and I don't like USC either. Brian Kelly left us high and dry, and then he had a bunch to say when he left. So go whoever beats LSU.
Running back side.
I don't care. He broke our heart. Goodbye. I hope they lose by 70. I'm a salty Notre Dame fan. I will not like him forever. He could even come back and win us the national title. I'd still be mad. There'd be an asterisk in my book. I'll hold a grudge forever. Ask Monte. He's made me mad before, and I still hold a grudge. He's good. Of course, 25 touchdowns a year. I'm still mad at him.
Hey, well, hopefully he can score 25 more, maybe a little bit more for you this year. Coach Jermonte, thank you guys for joining me this week. It's a pleasure. I'm really excited to see opening night, how you guys come out and perform, and ready to see you guys come out and have another good season heading into 2024. And thank you all for joining us this week. We'll be back next week as we kind of talk about week 1 and look forward to week 2. So until then, everybody, have a good weekend, and we'll talk to you all next time.
That's a wrap for this episode of Talkin' Tigers on KCRV Radio. Join us tonight for the season opener at Hopkey Field as the Tigers take on the St. Pius Lancers. Paul Glass kicks off the pregame show at 6:45 p.m. and the action starts at 7 sharp. Our live video stream can be found on the KCRV streaming platforms with our radio broadcast on 105.1 KCRV FM.